I guess from there we
Okay,
can
next
move
topic?
on. Yes, next topic. All right, so next topic is non-Asian K-pop idols.
Yep.
Yes. So yeah, basically, Andrew, you want to lead it? So you brought
Okay,
this
so
up.
the fancy title for this topic is going to be UHSN, Lana, and non-Asian K-pop idols. So that's our clickbait of the day for now. So yeah, there's just been a sort of, I guess, just recently a string of, non-Korean, non-Asian people sort of making either debuts or just sort of finding their way into the Korean music industry. So yeah, just wanted to highlight just two examples of it, just sort of give our thoughts on, I guess, just sort of the trend or what we think of, non-Asians sort of getting, exposure or just getting fame in the K-pop space. Yeah, I guess that's just sort of a basic summary of what I wanted to go through. So, starting off with, I guess our first example would be UHSN, also known as Study Abroad Girl. I'll get to it.
I didn't even listen to the song.
I will literally. No, you need to listen to it. You need to listen to it right now. Right now. Stop what you're doing and go listen to it right now because
I listened to it the other day.
We'll get into it. But so yeah, UHSN, also known as Study Abroad Girl.
Sorry for the clickety clack of the keyboard.
UHSN, Study Abroad Girl. UHSonyo, or I forget. I don't know how they pronounce it.
UHSonyo.
UHSonyo.
Yeah. UHSN
is yeah.
Or
Yeah, so
UHSN means
it's like
foreign student. Actually,
foreign student. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
Study
it
Abroad
wanted to
Girl.
be, well, it's technically not. It's technically just foreign student because exchange student would be Kyoan Hakseng, which is what I was.
Oh, this is way too loud.
So if someone asks, "Are you Hakseng?" I had to say no because I'm not staying in Korea forever.
Yeah, so using that Korea knowledge for your couple months living there. Anyway, so yeah, with UHSonyo, it is a Mnet reality show that invited 10 girls from countries all over the world to experience Korea and sort of dip their toes into what it would be like to become a K-pop idol and, find their way into the music industry. So I have a diagram on the screen, but you guys don't need to look at it. Just sort of our audience knows. Just running down the different members. So from left to right, we have Lisu, who is from Estonia. We have Vlada, who is from Ukraine. We have Nada, who is from Egypt. We have Oline, who is from Norway. We have Mind, who is from Thailand, and she looks a bit like Lisa, so I think that'd probably work in her favor. We have DZ, who is from Russia. We have Livia, who's from Sweden. We have Luna, not the group, Luna, from Poland. We have Maria, who is from the good old United States. So she got her fame, or just sort of her recognition, for being on another Mnet show entitled "I Can See Your Voice." So what she did on that show is I guess she would reveal that she was like a singer that won singing contests at like K-Town events in New Jersey. So she's in my neck of the woods, so she's immediately that's a huge plus. And of all you have to sing on that show, or just they're trying to guess if you're a good singer or what your background is on that show. It's usually a lot of foreigners or people that might not be famous. So she was up on stage with a bunch of people with AOMG, and then they start playing "Don't," which is the song that Hwasa and Loco did from, I think it was Hyena on the keyboards. Umu, have you listened to that song? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it's incredible.
Yeah, because it was from a few months ago, right?
It was last year, so.
Late 2017.
Late 2018.
That's what I meant. Oh my God.
We live in 2019.
What year is it?
What year is it? Yeah, so anyway, so she starts singing that song in every perfect Korean and everything, and just everyone goes crazy. Loco himself is surprised when he does the rap and or when he starts singing along as well. So yeah, she really got famous through that. So no surprise she ended up back on the show. And the last member is Chiba Eddie, who is from Japan.
Yeah.
So Shiva Eri is a member of AKB48, like the most famous J-pop group in Japan. And she was on Produce 48. She got famous because of her performance of Bubaya. She got famous because she was an F-rank trainee. Yeah, she's like one of those like people that you kind of root for, and I think she was like friends with like Hyeowon and everyone else that got into Eyes One. So yeah, I'm definitely glad to see Eri back here. So just I give you like background on the idols and like the foreign exchange student concept. So I guess what did you think of this concept just in general before we get to like the actual like song? So Nate, I guess we can start with you. Wait, did you listen to the song yet or no?
It literally just ended.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on just like UHSN as like the idea of like foreign exchange students?
I don't know. I mean it makes sense for a concept for a show. It's like K-pop's getting super big internationally, so like it's obvious. So like, hey, let's take foreigners and make a K-pop group out of them or whatever. I mean, so we've talked about this topic before with Alex from BP Urania and EXP Edition. We've had topics on both of them, I think. And I think for those two situations, I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
And I think for these two situations, it's less egregious to me. So the reason I didn't like Alex and BP Rania and EXP Edition is it felt like it was just a publicity stunt, and they didn't really they didn't follow the like process, I guess, if that makes sense. So like in K-pop, like everyone trains for years to be in these groups.
Yeah. And
Alex just got added with no training, barely knew Korean. It was very much her company was taking this dying group that wasn't doing very well, and they're like, let's put an African American girl into this group and just get a bunch of publicity and hope that the group succeeds now. And like, it's not Alex's fault. None of this is against Alex, and I said that when we talked about it before. It just felt so gimmicky, and it felt like they were using her.
Yeah. They were
to hope that they were using her. How that whole thing played out, it was very clear. They didn't really care about it or her at all. They were just throwing her in the group to try to make it popular. And then EXP Edition was just 4 random dudes that barely didn't know any Korean, that were just did not have any singing or dancing skills at all. That was just like, let's make a K-pop group and try to become famous doing this. And it's like, none of this has anything to do with K-pop. You're trying to sing in Korean, you can't speak Korean, and your music's garbage. So that was just a joke. Now these two situations I think are different. Jumping a little bit ahead, but like Lana actually trained for her debut for 2 years. She's fluent in Korean, and this as a concept for a show, obviously it's a publicity stunt. It's an Mnet thing. It's a show. They're trying to get people to watch it.
Yeah.
But I think it's for a good, like, it's a reasonable cause and a reasonable like way to put foreigners into a K-pop group. Is to make it so that these people can actually like experience what it's like. Obviously Mnet wants to make money. They want people to watch the show. So you could say they're using these girls in this group too, but it's not like Alex. I feel like it's
nowhere near that.
It's not nearly as malicious. So I think like for these situations, like I'm more okay with it. And I mean, I didn't watch the show, so I can't really comment on how the show went or anything. So, but do you want me to talk about the music too, or
yeah, sure. Just talk about the song.
The song was okay. I don't like the beginning part. The pop.
That's the best part of the song.
No, that was the worst part of the song, in my opinion. I think the song gets better throughout, but I don't like that part. But no, yeah, I thought it was fine. For a show concept, it's fine. It's just when you're either using it as a gimmick, a marketing gimmick, either using the foreigner as a gimmick, or being a foreigner, you're using yourself or that property like as a gimmick to get famous is when it causes a problem, in my opinion.
Yeah. So for me, I guess that's where I was going, is the problem with Alex being out to be Piranha and the XP edition is the fact, or even for cases like Holland, for examples, I feel like they're all banking on a gimmick. That's what I don't like, is that it's not like people gravitating to them because their music is good or because they're super talented. It's because it's just they're banking on a marketing strategy rather than
talent,
trying to produce art, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
And so with UHSN, I think it's similar, but I think it's at least cool because it's a concept for a television show. It's not just it doesn't come off as just a publicity stunt, like you said.
Yeah, it's a project group. It's a project like show. Exactly. It's not like they're trying to become this like 10-year-old like K-pop senior group that's gonna show up on music shows forever and come back every 3 months and stuff. Like, yeah.
So I don't think UHSN is gonna last very long. However,
no, they're done already.
They're already done?
No,
okay.
it was a one and done thing. They're already they're already all back in their home countries.
Okay. So I didn't know if it was supposed to be like a group for a while or something like that. I guess it was just like 2 months. Anyways, Lana, on the other hand, I think she has the most legitimate claim in my opinion, because again, like she trained, she knows Korean, she's interested in succeeding the same way everybody else did. I don't think there's any problem with her. It's no different than, a trainee from China or something. That,
or even
as a solo artist,
and,
you know,
like Ailey or like an Asian American. Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
Like it's no different. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I just watched before this JFK, I think it's a podcast with Amber Liu, and she talked about how she was scouted and added to a group to be a tomboy from China.
Yeah.
To reach.
Yes.
But she's from
America. But she's American.
Yeah, she's American.
Well, she's Chinese.
She's Chinese.
Like,
yeah. She's Chinese. But,
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's a TXT member who, or T by T,
tomorrow by together. Nobody says tomorrow by together. That's too much work.
Okay. He's half Chinese, half Caucasian, and then there's also the half Koreans, half Caucasians, and there's people, there's the people in Thailand, China and Japan, and so I'm fine with whatever nationality you are into, like when becoming a K-pop star. I do prefer like Asian aesthetics, but I mean that's not going to keep me from liking or disliking the music. For Popsicle, I felt like extremely K-pop. It's just extremely,
that was very K-pop.
So, and also I don't speak Korean, but it didn't sound like it was bad. And they danced just as well as any other K-pop girl group. So I thought, I don't think nationality should get in the way of creating music that you do actually do the research and put in the practice for. And that's Lana. Yeah, just know Korean and know the culture, and you can release in whatever language. Like, American pop, we have people from Europe coming over to America. And
exactly.
It's so common here. Yeah, for people from outside of our own country to sort of try and find success in our domestic music industry. So
yeah, like it would be different if artist went over to Korea and produced a song that doesn't sound like K-pop nor is in Korean, and then like maybe tried to make the music video look like K-pop. Maybe that would be something that I wouldn't be sure whether I want to support, because I feel like music is the number one thing. You should at least be Korean and fit in the style.
Yeah.
Somewhat. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you liked Popsicle a lot? You can go off about the song.
First listen. First, I didn't write any notes down, so I think that's in my head right now.
Yeah, go
But
for it.
After talking, because we interviewed David Amber at KCON, and he says that he had a lot of fun making that song, and he didn't treat it any differently than any other K-pop song he's written. Like, you know,
because I mean,
he's done
they don't
stuff
know,
and stuff.
a lot of the times when they're writing, they don't necessarily know who's gonna get their songs. I mean, so it's they just write to write, not necessarily. I mean, in this case, it's definitely tailored, or they knew. I think they knew going in that it was for this show specifically. But yeah, it definitely seems like they're just going for, you know, whatever they would do with Korean K-pop idols, or just, you know, typical K-pop idols.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I listened to the audio and I okay, but then I watched the music video and I was like, okay. And I don't know whether it was the bright, flashy visuals that made me like the song more, but I put it again on my watch later playlist, so I'll be checking it out again in the future.
So I just watched Lana's video. Like, I only heard about her. I didn't.
We can get to it later,
song,
though.
but...
Did you have any thoughts on like just Popsicle as a song?
Me?
Yeah. We can get to we'll cover UHSN before we get to Lana.
I thought it was good enough. Like if a K-pop group put that out, I wouldn't be hating on it or anything. So yeah, like it was a good song. It wasn't like egregiously bad or anything. Like EXP Edition, like I hated that because they couldn't even pronounce Korean very well. And it just sounded like a generic American pop song that I'd hear on the radio like 3 years before that, you know? So, but this, I think it was pretty good.
Okay, so on my end, this might be one of my favorite songs of the year. Just going out and saying that right now.
Oh,
because
I mean, ridiculous claim.
No, because hear me out. Because like, again, like you guys have said, if like some like traditional like Korean K-pop group put out this song, it'd blow the fuck up. It'd be everywhere. You'd hear it. I feel like it'd do well on the charts and everything. And I mean, it makes sense being the fact that like David Amber and Ryan Jun were the two like masterminds behind it. Some of my favorite producers. So I feel like it definitely resonated with me more than I thought it would going into it's just like a project like foreigner group sort of thing. And there wasn't any of that, I guess. Going into it, you think there'd be like a cringe element to it. There isn't any cringe at all. Yeah, they're great. Like you definitely can tell that they're foreigners in terms of their like pronunciation, but they do it well enough. They sing well. I think like this isn't they just got random like girls from like all around the world and like we're gonna turn you into idols, but you can't like do any of like the actual like hard work or whatever. Like a lot of them were K-pop fans and. They know the history and they know what it takes to sort of become an idol. And I feel like, just giving them a taste of that is, I feel, very fascinating television, or just seeing the process of that. And in all honesty, the amount of, like, you definitely can't divorce it from, like, the music video or the visuals, but a lot of them just have so much more energy than you'd see than even, like there are Nugu groups that are fully Korean that don't have as much energy or as much stage presence as these girls do. So I feel like I feel like you can't really like give them any like trouble for not being Koreans, because I feel like they did try their best in this, and I feel like they did incredible with it. So yeah, I'm gonna die on this hill. This is an amazing song. Everyone needs to go listen to this. I stand this group even though it's completely dead, and I just explained for like half an hour about why I don't stand groups, but
I don't agree with you that this song would have blown up. I think this song would have only blown up if Twice performed it.
Well, but no,
I don't think any B tier girl group does this song. No one cares about it.
But no, like that's what I'm saying though. Like if they're the regular collaborators with people like Twice, people like groups like G-Friends or whatever. If one of those
any
groups
song Twice puts out, it's gonna blow up.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, hey, again, that's why like
Dance the Night Away blew up. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Hey, you leave that back at home. We love Dance the Night Away in this household.
No, we don't.
Anyway, it makes me want to go back and watch the show in all honesty, because I feel it's super interesting. I know a bunch of the people, or I know some of the people there. And I think they did really...
Chiba Eri.
I know Eri. I know.
You want to watch it because of AKB?
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, it's funny because she's not famous at all in Japan, just because she's like she's like the B tier of the B tier of the B tier.
Yeah,
there's like so many people in AKB48. It's hard to get. I don't think she's ever made a senbatsu for a single. So it's so it's actually endearing to see that she's grown a fan base in Korea, and like she has like people that know her and everything. So yeah, I just wish all the best for her in the end. And also, I'd love to interview Maria. I don't know if she watches YouTube or podcasts, but if you're in my neck of the woods and you want to talk, or you want to talk about how the show is like, or what like being I guess a singer in Korea is like, definitely hit me up. Hit up Umu, unless if you want to talk to someone more famous, I guess. I don't know. You can do interview. I don't know. I don't have clout.
Yeah, I'm open. You can be in the same room while I interview.
Sure. I'll just
and
be
he
there
just
in
sits
spirit.
next to you like.
Yeah. You can use your connections. Anyway, so yeah, I definitely love this song a lot. I will die on the hill for Popsicle being a top 10 song of the year for me. Anyway, moving on to the other one, Lana. You guys started to sort of delve into it a bit. I can give a bit of information on her background. So she is a 22-year-old idol debuting from Russia. She was born on an island that I can't pronounce because I don't know how to speak Russian. It's like Sakhalin or something like that. So it's this part of Russia that's like sort of remote on the eastern, because most of the population of Russia lives towards Europe, like to Western Russia. Eastern Russia is a lot more barren because you have like Siberia there, but the island she was born on has a history of Korean migration, also had a like small history of Japanese occupancy, which kind of explains why she looks a bit Asian. It's like granted, she is Asian. She's from the Asian part of Russia. Like that's just one thing we should get out of the way, is that Russia, like culturally, you might think of them as all looking, the same, very like white European type of deal. But Russia has something like almost 150 different ethnicity groups that live inside, because Russia's massive. She'd
probably have more in common with people from like Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan
she has
than people from like Western
Moscow.
Russia.
Yeah, I believe she has Tatar blood in her, like just heritage or whatever. Her father has those genes. So yeah, the Kazakhstan, like Uzbekistan, like anyone like Turkic people, like that sort of thing. A lot of them look Asian, so that sort of explains things. So after high school, she moved to Korea to study the language. She appeared on Abnormal Summit, which is like this variety show about people, foreigners living in Korea and just sort of their experience, or like talking about their own home country. She studied at your school, Jacob. She studied at Sungkyunkwan University. She took Pol Sci.
Wait, when did she graduate?
I don't know. Like it must have been like a while ago or whatever. Or maybe she didn't like complete it. But yeah, she went to SKKU. She trained 2 years under HICC Entertainment. And yeah, she's debuting as the quote-unquote first Russian K-pop idol.
Wait, it says she received the scholarship in the middle of the current semester. So
you went to school.
Still there.
So you went to school at the same time as Lana?
Yeah.
Did you see
technically I went to school with Lana, and I also went to school with that one girl from Playback.
Yes.
Oh my God, Jacob! You're connecting with all these idols.
Yeah, I totally met them.
Yeah, you totally. I mean, you probably saw her on campus. I'm sure. Like at one
maybe.
point.
I might have seen
giant campus that has 2 different campuses.
Yeah.
Well, she would have been on the Seoul campus. And
Not
who
the
knows?
same
I probably could have seen her and thought she was an exchange student or something. So.
Yeah, but so I mean, I guess sort of the controversy like surrounding her, outside of just her being like Russian, is it a lot of people feel like the term has been thrown around is that people think she's a Koreaboo in terms of just like the way she styles herself, or just like the way like, people are thinking that she's trying to look Asian. So I guess what are your thoughts on that? So I guess Nate, you can start us off.
I don't know if I have thoughts on that because I don't really know what to think of that. But as for like her as an idol and stuff, like I said before, I think it's infinitely better than these other like situations we talked about, because she actually like put the work in. Like my biggest thing with like issue with these is like not putting the work in, because I know how hard all of these people go through to become idols, like how much work they put in, like how many years they have to train to become idols. And like it bothers me when people get a free pass, basically. so the fact that she actually put the work in, I think she trained for like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And like she's been in Korea, she knows the language, she's learned the language, she's been on variety
goes to
shows,
a Korean university.
She goes to a Korean university, like she's put the work in, and so it's like it feels deserved, if that makes sense. Where other times it definitely doesn't. It feels like they're stealing. Like it sounds dumb because anyone can become an idol, or like not anyone, but like it's not like there are limited spots or whatever. But it feels like these people that get free passes are taking away from people that have put in a bunch of work that might not end up ever becoming idols or something like that. I mean, but no, yeah, for her, it definitely not the situation, not the case.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. A lot of people still feel like she's taking away from like other people that could have had the spot. But I mean,
I think if she put the work in, she deserves it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. So, Jacob,
it's not. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I just hate these kind of issues because I feel like they're just so shallow and hate driven.
Literally skin deep
like
type of an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know, people say cultural appropriation or something, but where is that line? Well, also where's that line drawn?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, am I appropriating Asian culture by doing this podcast? Am I a Korea boo because I went and lived in Korea for 4 months?
Yeah, you're totally a Korea boo.
Like, I there's nowhere to draw the line, and that's where I stand in those issues. Is that if you can't like define it, then it doesn't exist.
So, Umu.
Are people angry at her because she's trying to look Asian or because she's trying to look Korean?
I think specifically, wait, what does even looking Korean even mean?
Korean beauty is a very specific thing.
Yeah,
I think
K-beauty, and then I also think Japanese beauty is very specific. Chinese beauty is very specific.
I mean,
but
the
like,
thing is,
I also
it was put it this way,
all
Andrew.
my
It was
Japanese
to the
friends. Yeah, go ahead.
Put it this way, Andrew. When I was in Korea, I could literally pick out from a crowd.
Yeah, you can.
Like, that girl is Japanese. Like literally.
Yeah, you 100% can do
that
that when you're in Korea. Yep.
Yeah, like.
But then, yeah.
Or like even Chinese people. Like the Chinese people will be all wearing like Gucci and freaking Off-White and stuff. And like I'm not kidding. I'm literally not kidding.
I know. I see a lot of them.
And like you can tell because they all have different ways that they express themselves that are kind of unique to their own countries, you know. So there is a way to look a certain culture, I guess. So I'll put it that way.
We're following up on what you're saying.
Yeah, so basically I do have Japanese and Chinese friends who follow the Korean culture, but I don't ever see them being called Koreaboos. And I mean, maybe it's because, you know, Asian versus Caucasian, and just like the racism, you know, in our past that Caucasians have put on Asians that is causing this like, oh, you've been like just like towards. Okay, I've never like really thought about this before, so I might be messing up.
Yeah, no, don't. You can work it out, definitely. That's what a podcast's for.
Yeah, like I wonder if the main hatred is that, you know, Caucasians have in the past made fun of Asians, so now why are you suddenly trying to look like us, and not only look like us, but become a part of our culture in a way of becoming a pop star.
With that,
but like, I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
With that point, I think it's only Western people thinking about that, though.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
in Korea care at all about that, to be honest. Like, I didn't get that sense, at least, when I was there.
Yeah, like, when this started rising up, I was actually hanging out with PD and a few other Koreans, and they were talking about this, and I just kind of like sat there listening to their conversation, and they said that a lot of the Koreans weren't upset with this at all. It was only like the international fans.
Yeah. That's the funny part. It's always the international fans that are getting mad about
offended
these
on behalf
things
of
that when they're being offended on behalf of Koreans when Koreans don't care at all. Like it's so weird though. Like weird reverse, like
sort of
I don't know
dynamic about it.
Like anger and it's just it doesn't make any sense.
So yeah, never mind maybe what I said about like racism and stuff, but
no,
I mean, overall, like my thoughts
that's definitely
Valid point.
Yeah, it's definitely
a valid
valid
point, yeah,
to be
'cause
taken into account.
Yeah,
I don't want to. We don't want to dismiss that, but
Okay.
yeah, that is
My
that.
overall
that
thoughts are just
oh, go ahead.
sorry.
You can
My
finish.
overall thoughts are exactly what Nathan. It's just like she put in the work, studied. I mean, I think she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah, I think we're like, I guess the biggest problem is that a lot of people sort of tend to make sweeping generalizations just based on how she looks, without looking into the fact that, like, I saw some really like dumb comments saying like, oh, she trained for 2 years and this is all she can show for. But I mean, like, there's even Korean trainees that they train for years and they don't have much to show for either. So I don't feel like it's something that's intrinsic to like what your like literal like background or heritage is. So yeah, in a way, I just in general, I don't like making big sweeping generalizations about like people as a race or ethnicity. I feel like, especially in this case, it's a case by case basis where like you can't just discredit like her hard work. Like if you there's videos on YouTube of her like speaking Korean like to like other Koreans, or just like speaking Korean to like her fan base, and like swear to God, if you close your eyes, you don't even look, like if you didn't know anything about the situation, you think she's Korean. Like that's like the level of fluency she's operating at. So I mean, yeah, it's just this weird sort of thing where, again, it's very hard for people to look away from it. I mean, granted, K-pop very much is a skin deep. That's all they care about ultimately. So it and being a non, like, not being the splitting image of what people consider to be an Asian, definitely it works both against her in that, like, definitely people might give her a hard time, but it does work for her that I maybe she is getting a lot more exposure than she would if she was just, you know, an Asian person. And yeah, I mean, I on my thoughts is, at the end of the day, it's a business. I mean, they're if there's a market for it, I mean, they get like K-pop as an international sort of medium or an international sort of collective. I feel it's not just a byproduct anymore. They're specifically marketing to people like us, to people in, you know, South America, to people in Africa, to people in Europe, all other parts of Asia. Like, they know that it's not just Koreans consuming this stuff now. So I feel it's almost in your best interest to maybe sort of introduce. And there's a lot of willing people that want to learn and, you know, go through this process of becoming an idol. So I feel like, I don't think, you know, their ethnicity or their background should ever be a detriment if they're willing to put in the work. And I feel like that should be anything that anyone, for any sort of job or anything. I don't think just in general, like, as long as you put in the work, it shouldn't matter what you look like specifically. So I guess that sort of just wraps up the topic in general. I mean, I feel like we were pretty much in agreement just in general that they make good music. I mean, granted, I got to be honest with Lana. I didn't really like her song all too much, just because I feel like she's kind of soft-spoken.
The problem with Lana's song, I don't think it's bad, is the mixing is really bad.
Oh yeah, the mixing
is bad.
Her vocals are too loud,
loud,
or the instrumentals are too quiet.
And then in the live performance, it was kind of the opposite, where you could barely hear her speak, and some people were sort of criticizing, she was speaking the English lines a lot louder than the Korean. But I mean, there's a lot of K-pop groups like that, like even Koreans. So I mean, you can't give her too much slack. I mean, I honestly, I think we all wish the best for her, just to, because it's definitely not everyone has the balls to leave their home country and go to a completely different country to become a famous, like, celebrity figure singing in a language that wasn't your mother tongue. So I mean, it takes a specific kind of person to, you know, achieve that dream. So I feel like we should be applauding her for being willing to, you know, chase after something like that. It's something that I feel like other people should aspire towards. You know, again, like Maria in UHSN, it's her dream to become a singer in Korea. So yeah, I feel like we shouldn't, you know, really hamper people chasing their dreams in the long run. Umu, you can have the last word if you wanted to say something.
No, just basically what you guys said. Yeah, I actually didn't listen to headphones. So it was like I listened quietly and I noticed.
Yep, and you cut out a bit.
What?
Oh, you cut out
a little bit.
Yeah, just go over what you said again.
Okay, so I noticed that the vocal read the comments section, and then I got what. So
Move a
I
little bit
mean,
closer to
the
your mic.
talent.
You keep cutting out a little bit.
Oh no! Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
fine.
I think you were just
Okay,
getting a little
so
too
should I
far from
repeat?
it.
Yeah, just repeat.
And
Just
it's
repeat.
like cutting out.
These are headphones.
Oh, it's your
They
headphones?
stay the
Oh, I don't
same
know.
length. Yeah. So just like, do I need to repeat everything that I already said?
I mean, we heard that you started listening.
Just summarize
to
it.
Yes, so summarize it.
So summarizing it is just that I can't remember what the song sounds like, but I think that she has the talent, passion, and like my eyes will be out for what she releases next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she'd do better in a group, just because I feel like it sort of like maybe masks any sort of deficiencies in terms of like what she's not familiar with. And
pretty much anyone will do better. Most people can do better in a group.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small company, so maybe they just want sort of deficiencies. But yeah, I think that we summed it up pretty well. So for those of you in the comments, definitely let us know what your thoughts are on this whole sort of non-Asian K-pop idol sort of thing. Do you like UHSN? Do you like Lana? Do you like any of their music? Would you consider listening to like permanent groups that, you know, may not have like many Koreans or just any Koreans in it, but they're singing in Korean and they like do all the work? So definitely I'd like to sort of have a good open conversation about it. No meanness or craziness in the comments, please. But yeah, I think it'd be a good conversation. And on that note, I think we should honestly cut it short because we were closing in on 2:21. So I could just cut. I can just do.
Oh my god.
I could just do split day 6 into 2 parts. I can split day 6 into 2 parts because it's like an hour on its own. But so we can still get 4 parts out of it. But I mean, yeah, go ahead and you can do the spiel. Sorry to cut the depression topic out, but we can do it another time.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to end it, Jacob?
Yeah. So
all right.
Jacob,
well,
take us out.
So thanks for listening this week. Again, if you're a new listener, subscribe if you like our stuff. And if you don't know ReacttotheK, definitely head over to Umu's channel. She has a lot of cool videos up there. Let's see. Join Discord, please. If you need a community to sort of talk about K-pop with, everybody in our Discord is pretty much mostly multi-fandom, so we'll talk about pretty much anything and anything that comes out, new releases. We do song ratings, we do discography listens, we even talk about off-topic stuff like gaming, movies, all sorts of stuff. So yeah. So yeah, join Discord. It's awesome. Subscribe if you like us, like this video if you like it. Comment on our discussions. We love to hear feedback. We also love to hear like your opinions on certain topics, and we'll even usually reply to your comments. And yeah, thank you for listening and or watching.
Is there anything that you wanted to sort of shout out or promote that you're doing upcoming?
Nothing new immediately. But yeah, for sure, like right now it's just the transition time. It's summertime. I'm finishing up season 3 of Classical Musicians React, and I'm preparing for season 4 of Classical Musicians React, so I look forward to another.
Is that the final season?
The final season of Classical Musicians React.
Not the final season, but
it'll definitely
we'll
have to take on a new role
after, because I'd say like 98% of the crew reactor are graduating. But a few are staying at school, and I think if I interview a lot of people and audition a lot of people, we could get a solid cast back up and running, because I am going to be applying for a 5th year to study Korean, actually, to study Asian history.
Nice.
Because the end goal is a Fulbright in Korea. So I think that I will have a year of Classical Musicians React at Eastman.
Awesome.
So, but there might need to be a hiatus also, because I want to do like a really freaking huge project, like bigger than my 2018 medley. But I would need a break from the main series in order to get it to the good, like the amazing quality that I want it to be at.
Cool.
So I guess just look forward to future cool possibilities. Yeah.
Nice.
And subscribe to Patreon because she needs to pay for
I was gonna
loans.
say, yeah, go to Patreon.
Oh my god, I need money. Yeah. Next big project.
Me too. Me too.
You need that. You need the
Jacob,
YouTube
start a
dollars.
Patreon. The Pokemon Patreon.
Pokemon Patreon.
Nobody follows me. I'm not good.
Yeah, definitely. Umu definitely puts content worthy of Patreoning or patroning their sort of channel. So definitely check her out. Definitely check out all the stuff they do. Yeah, definitely some of the best content out there on YouTube in terms of K-pop content, alongside our own.
Yes.
Right back at you. Yeah.
Woo! Advertise us, please.
Too bad PD can't get in on this love fest because he never comes on our show.
That's because we.
No, we gotta invite him
We
again.
needed. Yeah,
Dear
we invited
PD.
him once and we couldn't figure it out, and we gave up after that. It's totally on us, like he said at KCON.
He's
Dear
like,
PD, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my number,
no.
home phone, and pager at the bottom. Yeah, I just need to write stand level letters to PD, and maybe they'll respond.
Oh
so.
god, that's the way to run them away from us.
Okay, you can take it
Who
out, Jacob.
knows? You never know.
That's it. Jacob already
yes.
took us out.
Yeah.
You
just
gotta
say,
end it.
like, just say thank you, goodbye, or something like that. I don't know.
Thank you and goodbye.
Stay
And-
popsicle.
A throbbing
throbbingly
popsicle.
popsicle.
All right,
If
that
Your
was
popsicle is
pretty bad.
if your popsicle's gonna explode, maybe it starts throbbing. But yeah, listen to popsicle.
That was extremely. All right. Nate says the emotion in the song is incredible. I still get chills even after listening to it dozens of times. The minimalist start with just the piano is great, allowing Yuna to showcase her incredible vocal skill. Then the strings and hints of guitar come in to build the song perfectly. Her high note leading in